The most dangerous zodiac signs. The most dangerous zodiac signs rarely look threatening. Their true strength is often hidden behind calmness, and that is why they are underestimated. There are several signs that know how to wait, calculate, and strike accurately in relationships, conflicts, and the struggle for control. Today we will analyze where this energy becomes destructive and how to recognize it. In the end, it will become clear why one sign breaks the rules. Write your sign in the comments. Subscribe if you want to see deeper and understand the hidden mechanisms. Let's begin the analysis. The first sign we will discuss is Leo. Its danger is not in its roar, not in its posture, not in its theatricality. The worst thing about it is something else. The lion gets used to being the center of power, quickly, naturally, effortlessly. Where others are still looking around, he already takes his place, pushes the weaker ones aside, and checks who can withstand his pressure. He does not like equals around him. He tolerates them only until they start to draw attention to themselves. Representatives of this sign rarely act chaotically. They can clearly see who can be used, who should be brought closer, and who is better to keep at a distance. At work, this allows them to grow quickly. He takes on visible tasks. He takes credit for impressive results. He knows how to speak as if the entire structure depends on him. This often works. Management notices him. Money goes where there is weight, and Leo knows how to create a sense of weight even before the real result appears. In close relationships, he is tougher than he seems. Leo loves loyalty, complete, without bargaining, without hesitation. He can invest generously in a person, but he almost never does so without an inner demand. In return, he wants loyalty, admiration, and recognition of his right to lead. As soon as coldness, criticism, or doubt appears, he turns on the pressure. Not hysterics, not drama, just pressure, a brief glance, a dry phrase, a sharp distance, and the person already feels that they have been put in their place. The Leo is most dangerous when he considers himself offended. He does not strike at random. He remembers, he evaluates, he waits, and then he takes away exactly what is painful for the other person: influence, status, trust, place in the circle, access to the right people. It is a very earthly mechanism, no mysticism, no fancy words. He just understands the value of reputation and knows how to manage it. I am convinced that Leo rarely destroys out of hot anger. Much more often, he punishes coldly and calculatedly. His strength is based on the discipline of image. He watches his posture, his voice, how he enters a space, who is the first to fall silent after his words. That is why Leo is dangerous not only to his enemies. He is dangerous to weak characters, to indecisive partners, to leaders without backbone. Next to him, they quickly give up what is superfluous: authority, the right to vote, their own pace, and he takes it calmly as if that is how it should be. Capricorn. Next, I want to talk about a sign that rarely makes a dangerous impression from the first minute. Capricorn does not like cheap effects. He does not play on his strength. He does not throw around threats. He does not stage showy scenes. That is why he is often underestimated, and that is someone else's mistake, a serious one. Representatives of this sign almost always approach situations soberly. While others are arguing, they already see where the real leverage lies. It's not pretty, it's not obvious, it's real. One number in the estimate, one point in the contract, one pause in someone else's answer. That's enough to understand who is just putting on a front and who is capable of withstanding pressure. I noticed long ago that Capricorns rarely react to words. They evaluate the structure, who pays, who signs, who will responsible when everything falls apart. The danger with them is that they almost never act impulsively. If they see weakness, they don't rush in. They give the person time to reveal themselves even more, to make an unnecessary promise, to overlook a minor discrepancy in the report, to sign where they shouldn't, and then he takes it to work, calmly, without fuss, without unnecessary words. In their careers, it is often people like this who rise above those who are more flamboyant, not because everyone likes them. No, it's just that at the right moment, they already have the facts, figures, and the right tone in the office where everything is decided. Capricorns are even tougher in relationships. They don't always talk much, but they remember well who let them down, who lied, who tried to take advantage of them under the disguise of closeness. After that, the warmth does not disappear immediately. First, the tone changes, then the distance, then the excess. The person still thinks that everything can be reversed, but the decision has already been made. It is obvious to me, the most dangerous Capricorn is not the one who shouts. The most dangerous is the one who one day simply stops believing and begins to act in a dry, calculating manner. This sign is especially difficult for those who live without discipline. Next to a Capricorn, it quickly becomes clear who is working and who is just creating an impression. They unerringly sense other people's sloppiness and overdue letter, confusion with dates, nervous laughter at an inopportune moment, strange fuss over a simple question. Others will overlook it. Capricorns won't. They draw a conclusion and don't back down from it. This is why they are considered one of the most dangerous signs, not because of rudeness, not because of outward aggression. The reason is different. Capricorns know how to pressure with reality, with facts, with time, with consequences, and this hits harder than any demonstrative force. Scorpio. Another sign that made it onto this list is Scorpio. They have different manner, no loud warnings, no unnecessary noise. Representatives of this sign almost never reveal their full intentions right away. People around them often relax earlier than they should, and that is their mistake. Scorpios are in no hurry to reveal their cards. First, they observe how the other side behaves, what they are hiding, what their confidence is based on, and where their real vulnerability lies. Not the obvious one, the real one. The danger lies not in the conflict itself. Conflict is just a formality for them. The main thing is control over the situation. If someone suddenly starts to get confused in their own words during a conversation, changes their version of events, or takes too long to explain a simple thing, Scorpios will notice. If there is a slippery line hidden in small print in a contract, he will focus on it. If someone in the team smiles at the boss, but behind his back encourages others to sabotage, the Scorpio will sense it before many others. I noticed long ago that he is rarely wrong about people when others are still charmed by appearances. Representatives of this sign are dangerous because they do not forget details. Someone else's betrayal, a carelessly thrown insult, an attempt to humiliate in front of witnesses, manipulation with money, deception in small things. For many, this is just an episode. For a Scorpio, this is material. They will not necessarily respond on the same day. Sometimes, on the contrary, they will pretend that the topic is closed, they will continue to speak calmly, they will even keep their conversation going, and then it turns out that access to the right person has already been blocked. The decision has been made without the participation of the offender. The reputation has been shifted, and the one who considered himself untouchable is left without support. It is obvious to me the hardest blow from a Scorpio comes when you least expect it. In relationships, he is even more complicated. Not because he does not know how to be close, he knows how, sometimes even better than others, but that is precisely why he reacts painfully to dishonesty. If a partner lies about small things, hides correspondence, distorts facts, the Scorpion does not make a scene on the spot. First he checks, he compares words with actions. He notices when a person puts their phone face down, when they change the subject too quickly, when they nervously correct a date in a message. After that, the warmth does not disappear instantly. The depth of contact changes. A cold precision appears, and only a few return. And work, this is one of the most dangerous opponents, not because of aggression, because of endurance. A Scorpion can remain silent for a long time, while others rush about, betting on effect, selling raw ideas with beautiful words. Then comes the moment when you need to prove yourself with numbers, deadlines, real results, and here he becomes especially strong, because he works not for impression, but for advantage. I am convinced that Scorpio is not dangerous because it strikes first. It is dangerous because it almost always strikes where there is already a crack. Virgo. Separately, we need to talk about a sign that is almost always mistakenly considered safe. Virgo. Its power rarely looks threatening. It does not press with its voice. It does not break the space with itself. It doesn't create noise around every decision, but this is precisely what makes her difficult. Representatives of this sign cannot stand chaos where it would be possible to think 2 steps ahead. And when a careless, superficial person who is used to living on a whim is nearby, Virgo quickly switches from a mode of politeness to a mode of precise analysis. This is almost immediately apparent at work. Someone brings a document with a beautifully designed presentation, but she notices something else. The amount in the table is off by a few thousand, the date in the appendix contradicts the main contract, and a phrase has been lost in the letter to the client, which could cause the company to lose money. Others are still talking about the prospect of cooperation. Virgo already knows where the failure will begin. I noticed long ago that the danger is not in the criticism itself. The danger is that this criticism often hits the nail on the head, without fuss, without embellishment, and it is difficult to argue with her because her words are backed up by facts. Representatives of this sign do not like vague people. They are not annoyed by weakness, but by sloppiness. When someone gets confused in their indicators, forgets their own promises, shifts responsibility to circumstances, Virgo does not swallow it. First, she asks a clarifying question, then a second. Then they pause, open their correspondence, check the numbers, and bring up old messages. After that, the situation changes. The person still tries to wriggle out of it, but they are already faced with a chain of details that prove their guilt. It is obvious to me that the most unpleasant conversation in many people's lives took place with a Virgo who came prepared. She is not less strict in close relationships, not because of coldness, but because of her memory for details. If a partner said one day that he was at a meeting until 9, and a week later, in a new version of the same story, the time suddenly changed, the Virgo will notice it. If money starts disappearing from the joint budget without explanation, if strange details appear on the phone, if a person changes their tone when asked uncomfortable questions, she does not make a scene right away. First she checks, then she compares, and then she speaks, briefly, so that after a few sentences, the air in the room becomes heavier. She is often called too demanding. This is a convenient word for those who do not want to keep in shape. Virgo is dangerous not because she likes to nitpick. The reason is different. She sees the true quality of a person where others are still fooled by manner of speech, outward glamour, or correct intonation. She notices who washes their hands after a mistake and who looks for someone to blame, who reads the contract to the last line and who signs it without even waiting for the lawyer's explanation. I am convinced that Virgo is among the most dangerous signs, not because of its ostensible power. Its weapon is more precise. It reveals weaknesses, calls them out, and no longer allows them to hide behind a facade.